welcome back to A Wrist at a Time. My name is Si, and today I'm very excited because I get to have a very in-depth look at one of my favourite watch brands. This is the U-BOAT Sommerso. U-BOAT, of course, famous Italian watchmaking company from Lucca in Tuscany. Wonderful watchmaker founded by Italo Fontana. And the design I've really enjoyed for a long time, and this really is the best one they do. This is the proper hardcore diver, the Sommerso. So without further ado, let's go and have a look at this absolute beast of a timepiece. Okay, so here we are, the U-BOAT Sommerso. This is U-BOAT's professional diving watch, 300 meters of water resistance, screw down crown with U-BOAT's famous crown guard system, the unidirectional bezel. This one, as you can see, is on a wonderful, fully finished, fully integrated bracelet. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's have a look at the bracelet first, because normally U-BOATs tend to come on straps or rubber straps or leather straps, I should say. So to get one on a full steel bracelet is really a treat, and you can see that it is a quality bracelet. You have U-BOAT branding there. You have a kind of a straight bar design across the top, so there is a bit of gaps. It's not solid end link, but I actually like that design. Very reminiscent of the original Italian diver watches that this, of course, is based around those, much like a Panerai, things like that. You have the satin finish on the outers with the polished links in the middle. I'll just give that a clean so you can see there. Absolutely beautiful. You have this wonderful clasp, milled clasp there. You can see it is a friction fit, but you do have the U-shaped lock, so very secure. And then there is 4 divots here that you can adjust. There isn't a push-out dive extension, which is probably my only complaint of this bracelet. It would have been nice on a 300-meter diver to actually see that fold-out dive extension, but you know, when we're talking about a watch at this price point, I think that's fair. Also, all the links are fixed with screws, no pins and sleeves, so I'm very happy with that. And again, it's just really, this adds to the quality of this utilitarian piece and what it sort of offers. Now, the case, as you might be able to tell, is massive. It's a very chunky watch. This is not going to go under your dress cuff. But it's not actually as huge as you think. Now, you can see here, my wrist is 18 centimeters in circumference, and it fits pretty well. In fact, if we actually close it up, so you can see there, the especially down the barrel, there is still space. Now, you know, it is a big watch. You can't deny it. It's 46mm across the round of the case, not including that huge left hooker U-BOAT screw-in crown guard. So 46mm across, absolutely huge. However, you also have U-BOAT's very famous proprietary crown guard. Now, I know this has been copied by some other watch brands, particularly some fashion brands, but you know, this is a U-BOAT design, and again, it's based on the diver's watch that Italo Fontana, the company's founder, whose name is ablazoned there at 12 o'clock, had from his grandfather. So really interesting design, and like a Panerai, it will cover completely the crown. Now, the crown is still a screw down crown, so that in itself is still 300 meters water resistant. This simply allows the case to be round and doesn't need that kind of crown guard sort of protection, you know, of one side. So it keeps the actual case shape in a complete circle, which is nice to see. The bezel is a steel construction bezel, single loomed pip at the top there with applied steel indices there. Really sharp, quality feeling bezel. For those who don't know how to use a dive bezel, I will just demonstrate. So you line up the luminescent pip or the pearl there, and then you have the minute hand then will count down 0 to 60. So if you are diving, this will let you know how much oxygen you have left. So steel bezel, it's not ceramic, so it may scratch a bit more. However, it's also not going to shatter like a ceramic bezel might. One thing again, and I am going to nitpick on this because it is such, I am such a fan of this brand and this piece. I would have liked a captive bezel, much like Zinn or Breitling put on. I would have liked to see a captive bezel screwed in, or Oris Pro Dive or something like that, just to add even more sort of workmanship and utilitarian feel to this really hefty professional watch. But again, you know, I'm being picky because I'm such a fan of this. The dial is a matte black dial, but it's very, very interesting. So you have applied indices at 12, 8 and 4. But if you look, the indices around the dial are actually sunken into that matte black dial. The printing there, you have U-BOATs, you have the founder's name, of course, and water resistant. You have Sommerso at 6 o'clock, and then you have a day indicator. So it's not a second time zone, which is what I'd originally thought when I got this watch. It is a 24-hour scale. So, you know, you can tell either, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to know anyway, but it's just a nice little thing to have. You also have, which I'm quite a fan of, a Cyclops there for the date. However, you will notice the Cyclops itself is actually sunken into the sapphire. It's not like a Rolex where it sticks out on top. It's actually sunken in, so you still get a smooth sapphire crystal top, which I think looks fantastic. Second hand, fully loomed, as you can see, as all professional dive watches really should be. You need to be able to see all your hands down in the dark. So flip it over and, well, obviously it's a sealed case back. But what's underneath is a Swiss Ronda automatic. U-BOAT use Swiss Ronda movements in all their automatic watches. They say they're highly modified. However, the stats, I don't think that's true. The power reserve is still 38 hours. It still beats away at 28.8, which is nice to see, actually, that they're keeping that beat rate at 28.8 because it gives you that smoother second hand. A lot of the Swatch Group models and a lot of movements, what they do is they take ETA movements and they actually lower the beat rate to get a better power reserve. But I personally prefer the higher beat rate because I think that second hand looks better when it's smooth. So yeah, solid case back, 300 meters of water resistance. It does hack, as I say, it's a Swiss Ronda movement. So it's tank tough, 4 years between servicings. Absolutely great. And as I say, it's a big professional diver's watch for, let's face it, not a lot of money. These retail in the UK at around £2,000. So if you think of what else you might get for that money, something like, you know, an Oris Aquis, a Rado Captain Cook, maybe into a Tudor. I think this is a fantastic value proposition. And we all love a left hooker. I mean, left hooker watches are just cool, I think, in any way. Particularly this crown guard structure and the amount of metal you're getting here for your money and the quality of the metal. You know, you've even got the bracelet fixed with screws, no spring bars. I mean, that's just, again, another quality touch. So I'm going to head back now for my final thoughts. Okay, guys, so final thoughts on the U-BOAT. As a value proposition, I think it's fantastic. As I said earlier in the video, for £2,000 here in the UK, I don't think you can really get something with this amount of metal, this amount of quality, unless you're really going to spend potentially double or more on one of the Swiss brands. I also think that the design is fantastic, you know. Again, it's based around those classic Italian diving watches from the Second World War, much like Panerai and other brands are, but I think U-BOAT manages to capture its own brand and its own styling very well, particularly with the left hook and all of those design features that are unique to them. So would I buy this personally? Probably, yeah. Would I wear it every day? Yeah, I mean, it's a heavy watch, it's a big watch, but I think if you can pull it off and you've got the wrist for it, certainly if you're a big bloke, you can definitely pull this off. And so Absolutely, go for it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been Arista Time, and I'll see you all soon.